As I embark on my junior year, I am on the verge of achieving my deepest desires. The NFL, a dream I pursued relentlessly, is now within 10 games reach. Football has been the focal point of my entire existence. I would wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. on Saturday mornings and walk 4 miles, 2 miles to a fire station and another 2 miles back home. By 9:30 or 10 p.m., I would be in the park. Every aspect of my life revolved around football. Even at home, I would spend evenings throwing balls up to the ceiling and practicing various catching techniques, preparing myself to excel as a receiver or intercept passes. It feels as though my entire journey has led me to this pivotal moment, with only 10 games left to play. I possess the documents that affirm my upcoming selection in the NFL draft. Inky Johnson, in an article on the front page of the newspaper, mentioned that the top 30 teams would become multi-millionaires. All that remains is to play this next 10 football game. The hardest part is behind me. I've made it. However, during a seemingly inconsequential game against the Air Force, with just 2 minutes remaining, I made a routine tackle that turned out to be anything but ordinary. Upon impact, I immediately sensed something was wrong, although I never anticipated it would be of this magnitude. You know how life throws unexpected curveballs, and you think that wasn't what I expected, but it shouldn't be too severe. But when I collided with my opponent, I lost my breath entirely. My body went limp and I fell to the ground, losing consciousness briefly before awakening with my eyes open. Initially, I wasn't overly concerned because, after all, it was just a football game. I confided in the preacher that I had never contemplated an injury that could end my career. I intended to brush off the incident and resume playing alongside Ink as soon as I regained my senses. However, when I expressed my desire to continue, my teammates were taken aback. They responded incredulously, "You can't." I retorted, bewildered, "What do you mean I can't?" Their solemn reply shook me to the core. I can't feel anything from my neck to my toes. The sensation remains solely in my right hand and right arm. Perhaps it's just a temporary numbness. They placed me on a spine board and transported me off the field. As the doctor walked alongside me, he uttered this word, "Son, I don't know how you are still alive. You don't have a pulse." Upon reaching the ambulance, I relayed to my father, "Pop, I tackled him perfectly. It was a solid hit." His response struck me deeply. "Yes, but I believe you suffered the worst of it." The doctor assured me, "We'll take you out of the room, conduct a few tests, and bring you back shortly. Everything will be fine." They whisked me away for the test and subsequently returned me to my room. My mother entered, planting a kiss on my forehead and expressing her faith in my recovery. "Son, you'll be alright. You'll walk out of here." Suddenly, the doctors burst into the room, and the head physician urgently exclaimed, "We need to rush him back into surgery. He's on the verge of death." As I looked at him, I wanted to protest. "What are you talking about? Can't you convey the same message without using such a harsh term?" He could sense my unspoken questions through my gaze. He explained, "You've ruptured a subclavian artery in your chest, resulting in internal bleeding. If you don't perform surgery tonight, you won't survive until morning." From the age of 7 to 20, everything hinged on a single moment. All the effort, hard work, and promises culminated in that very moment. When I awoke the next morning after the surgery, the NFL seemed as significant as winning the SEC title game. As a cornerback, this setback was massive, and I couldn't help but feel embarrassed. While sitting in my room, countless individuals entered, expressing their condolences. At that moment, I couldn't help but think, "Ink, you've truly messed up this time. Was the NFL all you ever wanted? Did you limit God to just that? Does life lose meaning and worth when things don't go as planned?" I followed the right path but failed to do the right thing. The very aspect that defined my identity had vanished. That's why I chuckle when people claim, "If I could only get this job, I would be fulfilled." Or, "If I could just amass a certain amount of wealth, I'd find true happiness." But what happens when things don't go according to plan? Can you accept circumstances beyond your comprehension? Can you still perceive God's plan when life takes unexpected turns? Sitting there, I contemplated the fact that I was just 8 games away from achieving my dream. Yet, God was redirecting my path. I pleaded with Him, "God, let me reach the NFL first, and then redirect me. Let me secure the contract, and then guide me in a way that allows me to support my family." However, His response was firm. "No, son, I need you to follow a different path." I hesitated, questioning Him. "Are you sure? I really need to go this way." His unwavering reply resonated within me. One day, as I stood backstage, I experienced the same emotions I had felt in a tunnel before sprinting onto Newlands Stadium's field. At that moment, I whispered, "Thank you, God." Consequently, I now live my life in a distinct manner because of what God has done. I live with a deep understanding of God's power. I live with a purpose. When I pray, I do so with boldness, and with every bold prayer, I am grateful that God and I have an ongoing relationship. People often ask me about my situation, questioning why I wouldn't want to change what happened, despite the paralysis in my right arm and hand. I often find myself reflecting, realizing that if people only knew and witnessed the incredible works God has performed in the lives of those around me, they would be amazed. While I acknowledge the great and wonderful things God has done for me personally, the priceless blessings bestowed upon those in my vicinity cannot be quantified. It leads me to ponder the ultimate purpose and meaning of it all. Even though there may not be a specific Bible verse addressing this inquiry, it's not that answers cannot be found, but rather, in accordance with Romans 2 verse 2, we should seek understanding. Through my life experiences, I have discovered that sometimes people don't need a sermon. They need to witness someone living out their faith. When others observe our faith in action, they can connect with and relate to it more deeply. Thus, I implore you, with all your talents, intelligence, influence, and beauty, to remember one crucial thing. Never forget why you embarked on this journey in the first place. Recall that initial moment when you declared, "I am committed to following Christ. Let's go." That initial realization evoked a sense of excitement and zeal, akin to the enthusiasm people often feel at the beginning of any endeavor. However, as you progress, you will inevitably encounter challenges that test your level of dedication. You will face obstacles that challenge your faith, and for me, commitment means persevering and remaining steadfast, even after the initial fervor subsides. Will I remain true to my beliefs, principles, and the essence of who I am, even if I lose the use of my right arm and hand? Will I stay true even if the career I envisioned does not materialize? Will I remain committed even if it means giving up football, the sport I love and have devoted my life to? The answer is a resounding yes. You see, the faith and Christian journeys of many others depend on whether I will stay true to my faith and my own Christian journey. Countless individuals have referred to me as Inky and expressed their desire to follow Christ based not on what happened to me, but on what they have witnessed through my life. So, when ESPN tells me, "Ink, you would be in the NFL right now if you only knew," I respond by saying, "If you only knew. If you only knew that my accident actually saved my father's life. If you only knew that all three of my sons, who went on to be first-round NFL draft pick, were divinely protected. If you only knew the depth of my mother's unwavering care and love, you would understand why I feel this way." Through the midst of my injury, I have witnessed God work in incredible ways, and each day, I strive to align myself with His divine plan. We already know how to respond when God says yes and grant us a favor. We know how to act when our prayers are answered. But here lies the profound question. What will you do when God says no? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today. I hope you enjoyed the content as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. Remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any future videos. If you found value in what you watch, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to me, and it helps the channel grow. I love reading your comments, so feel free to leave any feedback or suggestions for future videos below. Let's keep the conversation going. Remember, life is an adventure, and on this channel, we're exploring it together. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams, embracing the unknown, and spreading positivity. Stay curious, stay passionate, and always keep learning. Thank you again for being a part of this amazing community. Take care, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.